Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the session 13 from the playlist of moving charges and magnetism. The topic is the magnetic field on the axis of a current carrying loop. So, here I have drawn one simple diagram in which A, B, C, D is a current carrying loop in which the current I is flowing as indicated by these arrows. And this loop is lying in the YZ plane, and there is a point P on the x axis, which is the axis of this current carrying loop. So this is a point P where we have to find the magnetic field due to the current which is flowing in this loop. And this point P is at a distance of x from the center of the loop. The radius of this current carrying loop is capital R. And here this R is the displacement vector of a conducting element of very small length, say dl, which I have considered at this point A, and similarly I have also considered another point C, where there is a very small conducting element of the same length. Now here the magnetic field due to this conducting element dl at this point P will be given by the Biot-Savart law, and let us say the magnitude of the magnetic field is dB because of this conducting element dl at this point P. So this will be equal to mu naught upon 4 pi into I dl sin theta divided by r square. Now here r square, this AP is the displacement vector, which is denoted here as r, and this its scalar value will be equal to under root of x square plus r square, where capital R is the radius of this current carrying loop. So from this equation, I will get the value of dB as mu naught upon 4 pi into I dl. Now here sine, the theta is the angle between the conducting element and this displacement vector, so which is equal to 90 degrees. So sine 90 will be equal to 1. So I will be getting ideal upon r square. Now r is equal to under root of x square plus r square. So this is equal to x square plus r square. Now the direction of the magnetic field, that is dB, will be perpendicular to the plane containing this conducting element dl and this displacement vector r. So the direction will be somewhat like this, as I have indicated with the help of this arrow. This is the direction of the magnetic field due to this this conducting element dl, and let us say the angle which it is making with the x-axis, or you can say with the axis of this current carrying loop, is alpha. So it will be having two components. One will be the horizontal component, which will be equal to dB cos alpha, and the other one will be equal to dB sin alpha. Now the horizontal component, because of all these conducting elements dl which make up this circular loop, will be added up, whereas the vertical components will cancel out each other. So the horizontal component of the magnetic field due to this conducting element dl will be equal to dB cos alpha, and dB cos alpha is equal to, this will be equal to mu naught upon 4 pi into I dl upon x square plus r square into cos alpha. So Here cos alpha has to be found out. Now if this is the angle alpha, so this angle, see this angle will be 90 degree. So this will equal to 90 plus alpha, and this will be equal to 90 minus alpha. If this is equal to 90 minus alpha, so and this angle is 90, so this angle will be equal to alpha. And if this angle is alpha, then cos alpha will be equal to r divided by under root x square plus r square. So let us say this is the second equation and this is the first one. So from these two equations, I will be getting the value of dB, that is the horizontal component of dB. Say this is dBx. This will be equal to mu naught upon 4 pi into I dl upon into cos alpha. Now cos alpha is equal to r divided by under root x square plus r square. Now this is the magnetic field due to this conducting element dl at this point P. So here what is happening, the horizontal component of all the conducting element dl which make up this this current carrying loop will be added up and the vertical component will get cancelled out. So the net magnetic field at this point P, say, will be equal to, or you can say the total magnetic field at this point P due to all the conducting element dl which make up this current carrying loop can be found by integrating this equation. Say this is equation number 3. So by integrating this equation 3, I will be getting, say this will be the integration of dBx. Say this is equal to B. This will be equal to mu naught upon 4 pi into IDL into R divided by, now this is x square plus r square and this will become x square plus r square to the power 1 by 2. So this term will be equal to x square plus r square to the power 3 by 2. Now by integrating this value, the total magnetic field due to this current carrying loop at the point P, which is lying on the axis of the current carrying loop, will be equal to, here mu naught upon 4 pi, I is constant, here x is also constant, this is r square, x square plus r square to the power 3 by 2 is also constant. So by here simply what I will be getting is mu naught upon 4 pi into IDL upon x square plus r square to the power 3 by 2. Sorry, this will be equal to IR. R is constant, I is also constant, and this will be the integration of dl. So from here, now integration of dl means what? It is a summation of all the conducting elements which make up this current carrying loop. So if I add all these small conducting elements dl, then it will be equal to the circumference of this current carrying loop. So this will be equal to 2 pi r. So the total magnetic field at the point P due to current carrying loop at a point P on the axis of the current carrying loop at a distance x from the center is equal to, this will be equal to 2 pi r. So this I will be writing it as r, now 2 pi r square 2 pi, this is 2 pi r into r, that's equal to 2 pi r square divided by x square plus r square to the power 3 by 2. So from here you can write this equation as mu naught, this 2 pi can be this 2 pi upon 4 pi, this is equal to 2. So I can simply write this mu naught upon mu naught into I into r square divided by 2 times of x square plus r square 3 by 2. So this is the value of the magnetic field due to this current carrying loop at a point P which is lying on the axis of this current carrying loop, and this point P is situated at a distance of x from the center of the current carrying loop. So this is the magnitude of the magnetic field if this current carrying loop has got 1 turn. For n turns, this value will be equal to mu naught I n r square divided by 2 times x square plus r square to the power 3 by 2. Simply you have to multiply this value by the number of turns in order to get the total magnetic field at a point P which is lying on the axis of the current carrying loop, and this point P is at a distance x from the center of the current carrying loop. So if there are n turns, then we have to simply multiply this value by n, and this is the total magnetic field due to a current carrying coil having n turns at a point P which is lying on the axis of this current carrying loop at a distance x from the center of the current carrying loop. So thank you very much for joining this session. In the next session, I will be coming up with a question which will be based on these on this topic, that is magnetic field on the axis of a current carrying loop. And this session is primarily important for the students who are preparing for the board examination, because this is basically a derivation. So derivations are normally asked in the board examinations. So till then, have a nice day. Bye.